Sir, when we talk about success or performance, we usually start with ambition, productivity, leadership. But biologically, none of that came first, right?
That's correct. Long before ambition or productivity, life began with something far simpler, a boundary.
Right, a cell membrane.
Yes, a thin lipid membrane separating inside from outside. And that boundary did something revolutionary. It regulated.
So life didn't begin with growth, it began with control.
Of course, without regulation, growth isn't possible.
We usually learn that a cell is the smallest unit of life, but that feels incomplete. What truly makes a cell living or alive?
Yeah, a cell isn't just a structure or chemistry. It is the smallest unit capable of independent regulation,
Regulation of what?
regulation of its internal environment. A cell maintains a controlled internal and external environment, produces energy. It also senses the changes that take place in its surroundings, and based upon that, it responds appropriately. In fact, precisely.
And the membrane is doing most of that work.
Yes, its property called selective permeability. Not everything is allowed in and not everything is allowed out, but it is controlled precisely.
So, performance begins with boundaries,
Biologically speaking, absolutely, performance begins with boundaries.
which means this idea isn't new, right? Physiologists talked about internal stability long before modern biology.
Indeed, a scientist named Claude Bernard proposed that life depends upon stability of the internal environment. Later, it was termed as homeostasis by another scientist, Walter Cannon.
Right. Homeostasis means maintaining stability despite external changes.
Yeah, exactly. Your body regulates temperature within 1 degree, blood pH within extremely narrow limits, glucose levels, sodium concentration, all are very tightly controlled.
And even deviations can cause serious problems. Sir, what actually enables the stability at cellular level?
Mhm. Several mechanisms exist. Like the first basic thing is selective permeability of the cell membranes. Second one is uninterrupted supply of adenosine triphosphate, which is the energy source. And there also operates feedback mechanisms or feedback loops.
Cells are constantly spending energy just to maintain order.
Maintaining ionic gradients, sodium outside, potassium inside, calcium concentration is tightly controlled. Everything consumes a significant portion of cellular energy, and that is provided by breakdown of adenosine triphosphate.
So ATP isn't mainly for doing work, it's for preserving order too.
Yes, so without ATP, order cannot be preserved. The concentration gradients cannot be maintained because if you look at the cell membrane, it contains ion channels, and these ion channels need ATP to maintain the concentration gradients. It is essential for preserving order, and it's very accurate way to frame it.
That's interesting because humans often prioritize output, productivity, performance, and results, right?
Whereas biological systems prioritize stability first. When stability exists, function emerges naturally.
And when stability is compromised, performance becomes erratic.
Fatigue, impaired cognition, emotional volatility, these often reflect disrupted regulation, and that is not lack of motivation. Many people misunderstand this.
Hmm. So it's not just the mindset, it's physiology.
Yes, physiology scaled upwards.
If we look at it this way, this means first intelligence of life wasn't ambition.
Yeah, it was regulation.
And if biology prioritizes regulation before output, then maybe we should too.
That would be a very biologically informed approach to living.